in, that means you're feeling the vibe. The bell rung, you already been subscribed. Right now, the queen, she on live.
Right now.
Please pull over the whip, no phoning when you drive. Dope Soul sporting with the talk. First lady from New York,
Brooklyn.
All my people, you rocking with the chat.
Hit that.
The like button would tell me where you at. You know, step from the MBK. Born and raised up MBK. Hey, real lady where she holding it down. No matter way how you feel, she gon' greet you with a smile.
Sister, you one of a kind.
Yes.
Oh, sister, it's time you
That's her.
shine. Dope Soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Dope Soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Dope Soul.
What?
Dope Soul.
What?
Your soul.
Where you at? Where you at?
Salute, Nick family, and welcome to the Knicks Morning Vibe. What do you think about that? Listen, I didn't plan on coming on Saturday morning. I have somewhere to be, but it was just an inspiring win last night, and I wanted to be here and share the energy with you guys. The Knicks have won 3 straight, but more importantly, this first game without Julius Randle against Cleveland, who it looks like will be playing in the first round. And I don't even know what to say. Just the way they responded, the way, they stepped up. There was some, in the chat who said they didn't think it would be a drop-off. And it wasn't a drop-off. Now, I don't know if they meant that, the team would step up, or if they meant that Randle is not as important as we think he is. I'm not sure what they meant by that, but there wasn't a lot of drop-off last night, if any. Defense was optional last night. Defense was optional, particularly in the first half, but the Knicks came out with a sense of urgency. We'll get into it. The Knicks are 1 game closer to clinching a playoff berth for the second time in 3 years. Say what you want to say about Tom Thibodeau. Say what you want to say about this front office. If you've been watching the Knicks for even 6 years, you got a sense of where the organization was prior to this new regime, just in shambles year after year after year, right? And it looks like, the Knicks will be in the playoffs. So 2 out of 3 years. Salute to everybody in the chat this morning. I had to go just 15 minutes earlier, but I appreciate you being here. Those who are going to listen later, the replay gang, I appreciate you as well. Let's get into this. Brunson was back last night, reminding everybody, don't forget who I am. He's been injured, missed like 8 of the previous 11 games until he was back in the lineup. And some of y'all may have forgotten who he was. I didn't, though. Anyway, Knicks came into the game 44-33, 5th in the Eastern Conference, 5-5 over their last 10, having won 2 straight. They started Brunson, Grimes, Barrett, Obi Toppin started instead of Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson. Again, Randle is out with the ankle injury. He'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks. Not that he'll be back in 2 weeks. He'll be reevaluated in 2 weeks. The playoffs start April 15th, right? So I believe he has 16 games since the injury, 16 days since the injury. We'll see. Cleveland came into the game 48-29, 4th in the Eastern Conference, 7-3 over their last 10, having lost their last game. They started Darius Garland, Donovan Mitchell, Lamar Stevens. Did they Karis LeVert and Evan Mobley? Did they start Karis LeVert? And Jared Allen, their rim protecting center, was out last night. Listen, the Knicks rose to the occasion last night. There was more ball movement, more player movement as well. They shot the ball well. The Knicks shot 63% in that first half, 60% from 3, right? We're not a good shooting team overall or from 3. We're ranked in the 20s out of 30 teams. But last night we shot it at a blistering pace. Defense was optional, particularly in that first half. I think the Knicks, there was more points scored combined in that first half, I want to say, or maybe it was the first quarter in the entire NBA. The defense wasn't that great. The Knicks gave up 47 first. I'm trying to find it. That's where all the hesitation is. Here we go. The Knicks gave up 47 first quarter points. 47 points in that first quarter, but they were able to score 42, so they were able to keep pace. But the defense just wasn't great last night. But it got progressively better. So we gave up 42 in the first, 26 in the second, 30 points in the third, but just 14 in the fourth quarter. Right? It was just an incredible display. The Knicks were up 12. Cleveland came back in the fourth. Listen, they're a good team. Even without Jared Allen, they still had Donovan Mitchell, who was on fire. Thank goodness Brunson had the game that he had. I think he had 42 points for the game. It didn't matter what Grimes did. I don't care who you would have put on Donovan Mitchell last night. It wouldn't have mattered. So I don't know if people are getting on Grimes, but I don't think it would have mattered. That's how hot it was. Just like it didn't matter who they put on Jalen Brunson. Brunson was in his bag. Taller people, stronger people, everybody, oh, he struggles with taller people and longer people. Okay. Everybody has a bad game every now and again. I don't think that he struggles with anyone. But I thought in the fourth quarter, the defense tightened up a little bit. It got a bit more physical, even with each other, right? RJ Barrett and Obi Toppin going at it. I'm not sure what. Probably because on the break, RJ Barrett should have hit Obi Toppin for the layup, for the dunk or whatever it was, and he gonna take him himself and miss. I'm not sure if that's what they was arguing about, but it's all good. That happens, with teammates. A lot of that stuff is not on camera. This just happened to be on camera. It happens all the time. I particularly like the Knicks in the fourth quarter being able to answer the run. This is a young team, particularly without, Randle. They went on their run in the fourth quarter. I think we had a 12-point lead. They cut it to 3, and the Knicks were able to push it back up to 12. And the Knicks led by as much as 15 in this game. Just impressive, all around. Brunson with 48 points. He had 21 in the first quarter, 33 by the half, and he was efficient. He was efficient as well. Brunson was a sight for sore eyes last night. Just to see him back, he looked healthy. He looked like himself. That was a sight for sore eyes. 48 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 7 3-pointers, 1 turnover in 37 minutes. And he hit some big shots when we needed it. That 3 he hit, when... he turned the ball over, he got on himself, he came back down, hit the big 3, it was just great for him to be back. But it was a total team effort. Obi Toppin started in this game. Similar minutes. He got 19 minutes, right? So he got about 9 minutes and change in the first quarter, 9 minutes and change, in the third quarter. There wasn't a significant bump in his minutes, but he did well. 12 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 3-pointers in the first quarter. That really helped us get out to a good start. You want to get out to good starts. You don't want to dig a hole and have to spend so much of your energy coming back, right? Obi Toppin with those 2 3-pointers together with Brunson helped us get out to a good start. I love the way Obi Toppin played last night. McBride was the one we were wondering, will Sims come into the rotation? Will it be McBride? It was McBride, right? McBride played 11 minutes. And so what that means is you're going small. And the Knicks did. McBride, IQ, Barrett, Hart, and Hartenstein, right? So they elected to go small with Josh Hart at the power forward. I mean, you could say it was RJ Barrett, but I saw RJ Barrett more on the perimeter on defense, and I saw Josh Hart on Mobley. Somebody correct me. If I'm wrong. Mitch saw a lot of effort from Mitchell Robinson, and it was good to see him back, good to see him active. In that first half, he had 6 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. And you could just tell this was a different type of Mitch just popping off the screen. And for the game, 10 points, 14 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks in 22 minutes. We got a lot from our center position last night. Hartenstein, he's just starring in his role right now. He's just starring in his role right now. Playmaking, rebounding, rim protection, how he helps our offense because he keeps the ball moving. You know, we don't have to generate shots for Hartenstein. He's generating shots for others. I'm just loving the way he's playing, and we're getting some rim protection from him. Last night, 5 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 3 block shots in 26 minutes. You know, and he just keeps that offense moving. Love what we're getting from him overall, and particularly last night. He stepped up as well. Josh Hart, 30 minutes, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, didn't miss a shot. Hit 4-4 from the field. He only took 1 3-pointer. He hit that. No turnovers. You know, and I'm sure he might have had a steal or two as well. And I thought he played Donovan Mitchell pretty well in that fourth quarter. You know, so, you know, Hart stepped up. Grimes played 36 minutes, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 3 3-pointers. And like I said, he did his best against Donovan Mitchell, but these guys are elite scorers. When they get hot, it is what it is. Quickly and Barrett were not very efficient last night. Quickly in his 30 minutes took 16 shots. He was 5 of 16 for 31.3%. RJ Barrett in his 30 minutes took 17 shots, 6 for 17. He shot 35.3%. However, the Knicks still finished over 50% despite those two guys not shooting well because everybody else was on fire. You know, McBride only took 1 shot. He hit it. Like I just said, Hart was 4 for 4. Obi Toppin missed maybe 1 or 2 shots. The Knicks shot extremely well last night. RJ Barrett, you know, it's just continuing his string of up and down games. You know, he'll have a few games in a row. You're like, okay, seems like he's found his stride, slowing down on the 3-pointers, attacking the rim, finishing at the rim. All right, I think RJ Barrett is, you know, it's turned the corner. It's kind of late, but he's finally turned the corner. And then these last 3 games, it's just uneven performances. And I'm not even talking about not shooting well. You can play well and not shoot well. Turning the ball over, not making the right pass, stepping out of bounds twice. You know, I just need RJ Barrett to be, you know, a little sharper. However, overall, the Knicks rose to the occasion last night. Let me see if there's any other point I want to make before I get to the chat. Yeah, the Knicks took care of the ball. 7 turnovers, 7 on the night. You know, just impressed with the heart, you know, of this team. All right, let's see what the chat is saying. Shout out to Tim Smith. He dropped his comment early around 7 o'clock. Salute all Knicks aren't just tough. This is a good basketball team. After the first quarter, we held the Cavs to 69 points. Most enjoyment I've had watching since the championship era. Yeah, that was fun to watch. Shout out to Harlem Girl. Salute to the chat. Good morning to you, Jeffrey Clafter. Appreciate you as well. What a resilient and brilliant. They stepped up. I mean, listen, it's not going to be easy without Randle. Like, you're not going to convince me that this is a better team without him. But it's just good to know that people can step up in his absence. The Brunson burner is the best contract in the league. Man, that was some effort. 48 points. Let that sink in. And he wasn't even trying to go for 50. You know, that last possession, you know, he may have known, they may not have even told him because they know he's just not that type of guy. He doesn't care about that, you know? As long as New York, Brooklyn, and Miami don't all finish 45 and 37, we avoid the play-in. Yeah, we're 4.5 games above that 7th seed. I think we're gonna be good. Shout out to Silk Sutton. I appreciate you, JJ. Of course, I appreciate you. Yes, he was ridiculous last night. Hart's defense on Mitchell was great in that fourth quarter. Yep, no doubt. Good morning, Ajay. I wasn't going to do the show, Ajay, but I just felt like I wanted to celebrate this win. It was great to watch. Obi and RJ going at it was surprising. Yeah, but you know what? It happens. It happens in the locker room. It happens on the bench all the time. It's just that the cameras don't always capture it. Good morning to Parish Duggar. I appreciate you. Fabian Williams, I appreciate you. You're welcome. Staffer, appreciate you. We was in the Dope Soul chat last night. Blessing morning, the chat. Great team win last night. Everyone contributed, and JB with a career high 48. Outstanding and well-deserved. No doubt about it. Sherman, I appreciate you. He don't think Obi should be fighting with anybody. Oh, all right. I appreciate you. Deuce played well. Yes, he did. Jeff Clafter. Andrew K, appreciate you. Quentin has drained 24 threes in his last 5 games. Really coming along. I mean, if we can get that, I'm not looking at the percentage. I gotta be careful how I frame this, because I don't, both JJ and Staffer are in the chat. So I gotta be careful how I frame this. I'm not talking about his overall percentage from 3, which has been good. It's just when he's getting those open looks to knock him, to knock him down, and not, he knocked him down great one game, and then the next game, not so much, 0 for 5, and then another game, he was 6 for 8. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Lately, you can really count on him to hit the open looks that he's getting. So, yeah, I mean, if we can get that from Grimes, that's going to really help us going into the playoffs. JJ said, be careful. I know. I get it. I feel that way about Brunson, too. I got a few favorites on the team. I just feel like as a host, I got to try to call it as I see it, and try to be fair. But Brunson and Randle, those are my favorite players on the team. I have others, Hartenstein as well, But anyway, Sherwin says, Grimes is now my favorite Knick. I will call him out for his weaknesses, lack of aggression. Obi fans need to keep it real. His defense is unplayable. I don't think you could notice last night because defense was optional in that first half. Nobody, nobody was playing it. It did get better down in the second half. All right. Top game scorers, Brunson, like we said, 48 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, 7 3-pointers. Grimes, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steals. And we're getting it in multiple categories with Grimes. I love it. 3 3-pointers, 44.4% from the field. Quickly with 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 3-pointers. He didn't shoot that well last night, but I thought he played okay. Top in 12 points, a rebound and assist, 71.4% from the field. Randle gets us off to good starts. I'm not expecting Obi Toppin to be Randle, but it was just good that in that first quarter, he hit those 2 3-point. We're not expecting a lot from Obi in his minutes. Just do what he does. That's it. Just do what you do. The Knicks, again, despite Quickly and RJ Barrett not shooting well from the field, 52.7 from the field, 47.2% from the 3-point line. They took 36. They hit 17. Knicks was on fire. Not too much from the free throw. This is like the bane of our existence, right? 62.5% from the free throw line. Went to the line 24 times, made 15. If you're shooting lights out, you can get by shooting like that. But if the game is really, really tight, particularly down the stretch, and you get to the free throw line, you can't shoot 62.5%. But, we talk about this all the time. Cleveland, Donovan Mitchell, 42 points, 4 rebounds, 5 of 6 3-pointers shot, basically 70% from the field. 70. Everything he put up was going in. To JJ's point, I do think Josh Hart did a really good job on him in that fourth quarter. Garland, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 9 assists, 42% from the field. LeVert, 15 points, 4 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 3-pointers, 42% from the field. And Mobley, up-and-coming young player, 14.7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks. We were without Julius Randle, who's a big part of what we do. They were without Jared Allen, which is a big part of what they do, particularly defensively, particularly when you're starting 2 guards around 6 feet. Being able to have that length and Mobley and Jared Allen behind them really helps. They didn't have that last night. They shot well as 51% from the field, 46% from the 3-point line, basically 85% from the free throw line. It was a good game. I'm not sure we can expect the Knicks to shoot 50% from the field and 47% from 3. So we're going to have to figure out a way to get our defense together. Some games is better, than others, but we're going to need it. I don't think there's anybody else. We talked about Hartenstein, right? 5 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Josh Hart, 11.7 rebounds, 1 assist, 100% from the field. I thought everybody gave us good minutes. Even RJ Barrett had 7 rebounds, right? So his rebounding was up. Mitchell Robinson gave us 14 rebounds. Awesome. Josh Hart gave us 7. Hartenstein gave us 8. We out-rebounded them as well. 57-40. Right? So people understood, coming into the game, the players understood, I got to step it up. We're not going to be Randle. We can't be him. Not one person is going to be able to replace him. We just need to do whatever it is that we do individually, just step it up a notch. And the Knicks, listen, they out-rebounded them. That's what they usually do. As far as team stats, they was +8 points in the paint. That's what the Knicks usually do. +8 in second chance points. That's what the Knicks usually do. +2 at fast break points. That's not what the Knicks usually do. The Knicks usually average 12, but they got 13. So about, what they do as far as fast break points. And like we talked about, 7 turnovers. 7 turnovers for the entire game. Right? So I really like what the Knicks did last night in the Eastern Conference. And then I'll check in again with the chat. The Knicks in 5th place. Now they are 4.5. No, is this right? No, this is not even the right one. Oh, this is not the right chart. But the Knicks are 4.5 games ahead of Miami. Listen, with 4 games to play, right? So I think comfortably, the Knicks are definitely going to be in the playoffs, right? I mean, the Knicks would have to lose every game. Miami would have to win every game. The same thing with Brooklyn. The Knicks are going to be in the playoffs, and I believe they're going to be the 5th seed, right? And so we got a little look at Cleveland last night. Jared Allen will be back. Will be back for them. But just a successful season for the Knicks. Who thought the Knicks would have finished 5th? All right, Jarrell. Jarrell thought the Knicks would finish in the top 6. Jarrell thought that. All right. But a lot of us weren't expecting the season that we got. 57% winning percentage for the Knicks. Just super impressive. Kerry Cox, I appreciate you joining us this morning. We got to win 2 of our last 4 to keep Brooklyn behind us. Okay. The difference between finishing 5 as opposed to 6. But in terms of finishing in the top 6, I think we're going to be good with that. Randle is better than Allen. We beat them a fair game. I mean, overall, yes. But in terms, I think each of them do what they do at a high level. The Knicks clinched the playoff spot last night. Did they really? I wasn't aware of that. If they did, that's great. David L., we can't replace Randle, but we can change how we play. Tempo, easy buckets, player and ball movement, assists. Yeah, definitely. I want the Mavs to lose and the Wiz to win. Can we get a Mavs win tonight? I know, really wanting that for that draft pick to convey, particularly in this year's draft. I mean, if it doesn't, I think it's still top 10 protected next year, 2024, top 10 protected, if I'm not mistaken, in 2025. So we're not going to lose it. But you get a top 15 pick in this year's draft, you might be able to get a good player. And even if you don't want to draft a player, it becomes another asset if you want to improve the roster. David Parker, the low-key missing piece was Okoro. We have to watch out for him. If that's the matchup, he plays Brunson very well. Remember this. Okay. Still can't believe Dallas rejected 4 years, $55 million for Brunson twice. Yeah, I know. All right. We play Washington Sunday. You know, Washington is 34-43, 11th in the Eastern Conference, 3-7 over their last 10. They lost their last game, 23rd over their last 10 games in offensive rating, 23rd in defensive rating, 23rd in net rating. Just not playing their best basketball at this time. The Knicks, on the other hand, 45-33, 5th in the Eastern Conference, 6-4 over their last 10. We've won three straight. We're 3rd in offense, 18th in defense, 9th in net rating over our last 10. We've played them 3 times this year. We've beat them twice. You know, all of that being said, the games aren't played on paper. This is why you play the games. Sometimes on paper it looks uneven, right? This is why we play. I anticipate the same starting lineup: Brunson, Grimes, Barrett, Toppin, Mitchell Robinson. For them, Monty Morris, DeLon Wright, Denny Avdija, Corey Kispert, and Daniel Gafford, right? So they're without Bradley Beal. They're without Kuzma. They're without Porzingis. At least the last game. I took these starters from their last game. Whether or not any of those 3 guys will be back, who knows? I think for the Knicks, it's about us trying to get the rhythm we're going to need going into the playoffs without Randle. You know, if there's any good part that came out of it, is that you get 5 games to play, you know, with this rotation and to get a feel for it going into the playoffs, right? That's the, you know, that's one positive thing that's come out of it. All right. I'll be back Monday morning for the morning recap show of the Washington game. Monday night, the Queen's Court, Nothing But Knicks channel, where we'll talk about this entire slate of games without Julius Randle. No, the entire week's games. I'm sorry. And we'll talk a little bit about, you know, maybe going into the playoffs without Randle. I appreciate everybody watching. Let me get show y'all some love out the door. Kerry Cox, I appreciate you. Repping the Realist, I appreciate you. Michael Sharon, Jeff Clafter, of course, the Public Enemy #1, Ajay, who said they clinched a play-in spot. One more win or one Miami loss to clinch a playoff spot. All right, thank you for that, Kerry Cox. Washington is tanking. Paris Duggar, I appreciate you. Dwayne Dennis, Sherwin, Louisiana Knicks, I appreciate you. David, movies and stuff. Been a minute, I think. I appreciate you. Roy Rosado, Harlem Girl. Let's see. JJ, Josh Smith, Deron Wayne, Andrew K, Geraldine MacGyver, I appreciate you. Tim Smith, appreciate you. Nikki B from Harlem. Sherwin, always a pleasure. Thuni _ got it. I appreciate you. Fabian Williams, Angel Torres. I think that's everybody. Stafford Don, Louisiana Knicks, Dwayne Wilson. If I missed anybody, my apologies. We have 76 listening. We got 32, now 33 likes. So on the way out the building, please hit those likes. Enjoy this team, ladies and gentlemen, you know, and enjoy this team. It is fun to watch. Until next time.
Yeah, that's right, I see the chat. I see y'all rocking, I see y'all coming. Hit that like button as you enter the building, you know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, show your love, show your support, you know what I'm saying? This that dope soul, this that new thing. Nobody don't know about it, nobody don't know about it. In fact, J Boogie, let them know what time it is.
You tune in, that means you're feeling the vibe.